Good evening and welcome to Within the Madness. This is the men's edition, joined as always by Raymond Lyons, Cardo W. Jr., Wilson Tarbe Jr., and we're going to start with the most recent score update on the men's side. Cardell, I'm let you let everybody know what happened since you were just watching it.
UCLA was up 3 with on Alabama with little over 4 seconds left. Looked like they was headed to victory, but Alabama pushed the ball. They found what's my name now? I want to get his name right, Alex Reese, and he hit a 28-footer and then forced overtime. They had it. It was that saved Alabama from heartbreak because Herb Jones came to the line with UCLA up 1 and he missed both free throws. And UCLA came down foul, hit both free throws to get a 3-point lead, and Alabama came back. Alex Reese hit y'all know how March Madness is. It's always some memorable buzzer because it's every year, dog. You can't. It's coming. You know it's gonna be somewhere, and this will be in that highlight reel for that was a big shot, man, for real. So this game is just a tale of two halves, man. It looked like UCLA had it all clicking in the first half. Then Alabama, they had it going. I mean, they got it going in the second half, man. You know, Petty Jr. His nickname is Peach Jam Petty. Because in Peach Jam he went off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you go off on that stage, that's pretty much the March Madness of AAU. So this is just another day at the office for him, man. But he's came up big, 16 points, 3 rebounds, man. Leading Alabama, and honestly, what helped Alabama in the second half was they got better production from their bench. UCLA only has 8 points from their bench for the game. Alabama's well over 13. They're almost at 30. So their production is and they're efficient. So that's what saved them because the starters, Alabama starters, have been thoroughly outplayed by UCLA's outside of Ellis and Petty Jr.
I'm sure you guys, some of you watching already got that game on or excited about how this one's going to end. Again, man, folks out here fight for the chance to get to the Elite Eight. Like Cardell said, it's in the title. It's madness. The last game of the night on the men's side is in the West region. 6 seed. It's a 6-7 matchup. USC taking on Oregon. That one should be a good one. Last night, had some interesting finishes. 15 Oral Roberts saw their run come to an end. They got a good opportunity, but they fell to Arkansas 72-70. That was a great game, and you guys have mentioned this a couple times about some folks having great looks and something to think about. I'm sure that one got folks a little bit sick on the Oral Roberts side, but it was they had a really good run. In the Midwest region, Houston, it was a 2-11 matchup. Houston handled Syracuse's own, beat them 62-46 to punch their ticket into the Elite Eight. Earlier today, look, all right, Gonzaga's a 1 seed for a reason. They handled Creighton 83-65. Andrew Nembhard led the Zags with 17 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Whatever you guys want to share from that matchup or move on, it's up to you guys.
Drew Timmy, my man, I call him the hippie man, with all respect. That boy just be cooking, man. It was easy for him. 22 and 6 and 4, man. 10 or 14 shooting. That means he had no resistance. It was just easy work. So yeah, man, he my favorite, man. I gotta watch what I say, but let's just say he's a favorite of many people out here, who like to partake in extracurricular activities at night. I'm gonna leave it at that. So, but nah, he can ball, man. He just funny looking, man. But he can ball, man. So he's no joke on the court. So you gotta take him serious, man. And obviously, with Nembhard, the Florida transfer, what he's doing, he's always been a pure point. He's highly efficient, highly intelligent. You don't miss nothing with him. And Suggs didn't even need to go off, man. Just play your game and just do the little things. And it was easy, man. Creighton they didn't really have an answer for him.
Ray, did you have anything?
Not too much, man. It's just like how Cardell ended it. Creighton just didn't have enough to contend with Gonzaga. Outside of Marcus Zagorowski, nobody else could really get anything going. And you're not going to beat Gonzaga with just one person. Like that's just not happening. They got too much on their roster from top to bottom. and they had the best player on the floor on their team. So this was a foregone conclusion. Not surprised that this game went the way it went.
All right. The other game we had earlier, this was a great game. It lived up to its billing. It was a 1-4 matchup between Michigan and Florida State. Michigan beat Florida State 76-58. Balanced effort from the Wolverines. Dickinson, Johns Jr., they had 14 apiece. Dagner chipped in with 13 and 10. Malik Osborne led the way for Florida State. I want to hear what you guys had to think about that one. I felt like the timeline was watching that one together.
Well, the big thing about Florida State is we all know they can defend with the best of them. It's just can they score points? And you saw it rear its ugly head. They're offensively challenged at times, but it wasn't just them being offensively challenged. It had a lot to do with what Michigan was doing. They just executed on both ends consistently for 40 minutes, man. Juwan had them boys ready. You know what I'm saying? He had them ready. And the thing I love is their poise, man. Like I know Hunter, obviously, Wagner, Johns Jr., even Sean D. Brown, who I feel like don't get enough love off of Michigan bench, who I feel like is a pro. You know what I'm saying? Wake Forest transfer, 6'5", 220. He scored from all three levels. He's a problem. He can play in the league, man. I feel like the most important person for Michigan and the best player on the floor was Mike Smith. He controlled the game. That was the difference. Florida State didn't have a point guard that can, one, speed him up to cause him to make mistakes and turn the ball over and get Michigan out of rhythm. And two, they didn't have anybody that could execute like him either on the other end to make him work. You know what I mean? He was the difference, man. I know Livers is out, and that was the question, like who would step up and kind of keep the job on. They got to protect Smith at all costs, man, because if he go down, I think that'll affect Michigan greatly. But with him there, you know, I just love the way he played, man. He honestly, young high school point guards need to look at him and understand how to deal with ball pressure, especially with Leonard Hamilton, man. He threw NBA caliber, 6'8" wings, athlete, all types of people at him, man. And that boy ain't blink. He just maintained his dribble, executed, made it right. And he didn't just make a pass or shoot a shot. He made the right pass and shot the correct shot. He was patient. And when you're patient like that, you'll break down any defense. You know, especially one that's even one that's potent as Florida State. Then obviously what they got inside, man. Hunter playing like he's been playing all year. Wagner. And Johns Jr., the production inside, just their front court outplayed Florida State's front court. And, Michigan got with Brown doing what he doing, 12 points off the bench, they had production off the bench where, they could counteract what Florida State did. So all in all, it was Michigan's game. They were well coached, well prepared, they executed well, and it was their night.
Yeah, man, their decision making was just perfect in every aspect. Typically Florida State can overwhelm teams, with their defensive pressure, and they just couldn't rattle Michigan, man. Like even when they pressed full court, Michigan took their time on the inbound. A lot of times Hunter would run up and they just throw it in high to him and get it in, and then get it back to Smith. Man, I don't think Florida State was prepared for how prepared Michigan was, to be perfectly honest. Then in their half court, they were working a high-low, which was difficult for Florida State to deal with. And then even sometimes when they dumped the ball down to the big on the block, he would find the guy cutting from the weak side corner, and they got a lot of easy baskets like that. So I just don't think Florida State was used to playing somebody with all the tools to kind of dismantle their defense. And because there aren't many teams that are equipped to do that. So Michigan, they just executed perfectly on both ends. That can't their defense can't be discounted, because if you can't stop nobody, then all the offense in the world really doesn't mean much if you're just going to trade baskets. Then you just leaving it up to chance. But man, they dug in, they strapped up as well. Florida State, they're a good team, but Michigan had everything they need in the toolbox to deal with them. and they they made it look easy. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, but yeah, Michigan are who they are for a reason, and they proved it.
And real quick before we go, just so people know, Michigan has an NBA front line. Johns is 6'8", 240, a junior. Dickinson is 7'1", 255. Wagner, the brother of Mo Wagner, that used to play for Wiz now with the Bulls. He's 6'9", 220. He's different. He's not a pure center. He's a wing. He's a big wing. Then you go to the bench. You got Austin Davis, who's 6'10", 250. So they got 4 bigs that physically can play in the league right now and be bigs, legit bigs, man. Like it's not sweet down there, man. It's just not. So, I know Florida State, like y'all said, Florida, like Raymond said, Florida State used to be in the bully. They're like we about to physically push y'all around, all that. They couldn't do that against them. They push and dudes ain't move. Like what they vote on. So they try to out athletic them. Then man, these dudes can move too. It's like, oh shoot, now we gonna force you. And Michigan, Kenny Smith said something great. Michigan, and this is the NBA experience coming to play in college with Juwan Howard. He said Michigan throughout the year do 2 things. They run a pick and roll great, and they take your first option away. That's what they do in the league. You're not going they completely take that away. So you got to go to plan B and plan C. But that's Florida State's weakness because they don't really have one. MJ Walker's their leading scorer. If you take him out the game, it's like who's going to step up? You may get somebody, you might get Scotty Barnes, where they might get great up, and then it gets real, and that's when they lose, man. So yeah, kudos to Juwan Howard. He got him executing like an NBA team, and it's a culture, man. You can see it, and and his success, ironically, is helping a whole lot of black coaches get jobs all of a sudden. See how they copycat and all that, but that's a whole other discussion we're gonna discuss.
It's funny how that works, though, right? You ain't even want them, man. Now y'all relevant again and good. And
they hire black coaches out there, man. And now it's a lot of like, did you play in the league? Kimmy English, Georgia, did you play in the league? You got some league experience? Yeah, we gotta have it like Juwan. And Penny won the NIT championship, so yeah.
Shout out to them too.
Yeah.
But now, like I was tweeting a little bit during that game. Dog, I was almost speechless with their execution. You're not supposed to be executing like that consistently on a college level. Like I was drafting up tweets and deleting them because as soon as I was about to tweet something, they did something else. And again, dog, that's how you run a team. The Smith kid, man, put on a clinic. He put on a clinic. He did. Anytime he needed to score, he did. Outside of that, the ball always went where it needed to go. And Cardell, I know you mentioned about their size. I love the vision of all the bigs. They're all such very good and willing passers. They put them through some things, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Look, Hunter, to me, that's always been his best skill. Like people don't even know his full game because you had to have seen him at the Mather and on the AAU circuit with Takeover and see how Mike Jones and Stevens used them a lot, man. Like they don't even understand. But like I said, with Michigan, he don't need to display all that because you see the guard play that they have, the wings that they have. So it's just Juwan's teaching him how to be big because he like that's what's gonna get you in the league. And then when you get to the league, you get to showcase everything. That's the whole point because a lot of bigs don't know how to be big. So Hunter's gonna be ahead of the learning curve where you gonna see he has a perimeter skill set, but he can go down on the block and be a big man, and that's rare. When you got that, you got something special. Then it's just gonna be for him to understand, just adapt everything to the NBA level. But look, man, he always had that. His best skill is passing, man. He like WCAC, all they did was throw little dudes under him to try to stay up under him to get him in foul trouble. Mike Jones like, okay, put you in a high post, back door here, Earl. Back door, here you go. Here you go, Tyrell. Go ahead, y'all eat. Then when they get going, you got to back up because you worried about them going back on. That's when Hunter go to work. Then he go pick the road situation, man. Like he was prepared, though. Like Mike Jones said it on our show. He was prepared to play college basketball, so the transition was smooth, man.
I'm looking forward to them as they go on. I did fill out one little bracket where I had them all the way, so hopefully we'll see if it turns into anything. Because some folks' brackets got busted because this year was wild, so I feel like I'm still in a race.
Before we end, look like UCLA gonna finish this off. They up 81-72 in Alabama with 38 seconds left for overtime. So
Hey man,
It's like they shall be moving on. I think they face Florida State and Michigan. Well, I think they face Michigan, my fault. So that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it is. And shout out to UCLA, 11 seed out here still dancing.
they was in a playing game, man.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Open. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching the men's edition of Within the Madness tonight. We'll be right back in a couple minutes. Go through what's going on the women's side of the brackets. Again, everyone's trying to get try to secure their spot in the Elite Eight. We'll be right back.